The customers are coming in and space is limited. We're all sushi chefs and we've got to get our ingredients out onto the board so we can make our delicious recipes. And what's a good recipe without some wasabi, which was designed by Josh Capel and Adam Gertzbein and published by Kids Table Board Gaming, who helped sponsor this video. Hi everybody, my name is Nick Murphy of the Brothers Murph and we're here with Board Game Geek. Well, these recipes aren't going to make themselves, so let's get this game down to the table to go a little more in focus on wasabi.
In Wasabi, players are sushi chefs competing to complete their delicious recipes to score points and wasabi. Though space is limited and the game will end when the entire board is full of ingredients or teacups. Each player will start with a wasabi bowl and 3 recipes. On their turn, a player must first place an ingredient tile from the pantry onto the game board. You may place this tile in any open space on the board. Note that the different shades on the board represent the player count. In a 2-player game, this is the game board. This is it for a 3-player game, and this is it for a 4-player game. Note that you may also place the ingredient onto a teacup space. When you do this, you will replace the teacup with the ingredient, and then you will move the teacup to any open space, though note that the teacup must stay on the board. You may be wondering what the point of the teacups are. This is so at the end of the game, you are not stuck with only one space to place a tile. For example, with no teacups, if this was the last turn, the player would have no choice but to place the last tile here. But with the 4 teacups, they could place it in any of these 5 spaces, as they would just move the teacup to the remaining open space. After you place an ingredient, you will then choose to serve or prep. Serving is how you complete and score your recipe cards. Each recipe card has between 2 and 5 ingredients required, and the points it's worth is in the star at the bottom. If this sequence of ingredients is present on the board, you may score that recipe, though note that you must have contributed to that sequence on this turn. For example, I could not complete this recipe if at the start of my turn the sequence was already present on the board, but if I finished this sequence by placing a tile on this turn, I could then score it. The sequence does not need to be in the same order as it's shown on the card, though it's better if it is. If it is in the same order, you will gain the wasabi bonus on the bottom right of the card. You will take these wasabi from the supply and add them to your bowl, and wasabi is worth points at the end of the game. If you finish a 2-ingredient recipe, you will gain an action card, and we'll talk about these action cards in a bit. Once you have finished a recipe, you will draw back up to 3 cards, and you may choose a 2, 3, 4, or 5-ingredient recipe. When you choose a 3, you will immediately gain 1 wasabi to your bowl and place 1 into the wasabi pool. When you choose a 4, you will place 1 on the pool, and when you choose a 5, 2 will go to the pool. So that is serving recipes, and note that you may complete more than 1 recipe on your turn, but you have to have contributed to every recipe you complete during that same turn. Other than serving, the other action you may do is prep. When you prep, you will choose one of 3 options: gain an action card from the display, take all of the wasabi from the pool to your personal supply and then place 1 wasabi onto the pool, or return any recipes from your hand to the bottom of their decks and then redraw back up to 3 cards from any decks. Let's quickly talk about these action cards. You may have 2 action cards in front of you and you may play them during your turn. Each action card will state exactly what it does. For example, the chop allows you to return a tile on the board back to its stack in the pantry, and the switch allows you to swap 2 adjacent tiles. Remember that you have to contribute to a recipe sequence to be able to complete that recipe this turn, and action cards are a great way to do that. The game end is triggered when every space is filled with an ingredient or a teacup. Then each player gets 1 more turn and then the game will end. Note that on this last turn you will not place a new tile, so the only way to finish a recipe is by using action cards. Then the players will count up their scores from all of their completed recipes, and each wasabi in their bowl is also worth 1 point. And the chef with the most points will win.
Wasabi is all about trying to get the board of ingredients just right so you can finish your recipes, and if you can, you want to get the ingredients in the exact right order so you can serve them with style and gain the bonus. But make sure to never forget about your action cards, as they can change up the board quite a bit. And if Wasabi seems like a game you'd enjoy, make sure to check it out to find out more. And until next time, I've been Nick Murphy and we've been going in focus on Wasabi. Have a great day.